Stories for Lost Musicians presents I Sold My Soul for This Song.
It is 3:47 a.m. in a small studio. Red meters kiss the top. A snare loops, then stops. Aron mutters, erases. Months of block. Rent due. Gigs cancelled. His inbox chants, "Where is the new track?" He hits the spacebar. The room goes dead. On the stairwell outside his door, a second set of footsteps. He lives alone. He freezes. One thought lands, quiet and dangerous. He would do anything for one perfect song. A voice answers from behind him, close, clean, entirely calm. "I have it. You can have it. There is a price. Your audience will adore you. You will never feel them." Aron is an electronic producer who used to turn small rooms into shared pulse. Tonight the studio is a knot of cables and thrifted gear. An old laptop on a milk crate, a fan that wheezes like a small animal, sticky notes slouching off the wall, invoices lining the monitor like teeth. He has tried everything: tram recordings, radiator groans, parking garage kicks. Each idea turns to chalk. 3 notes on a cheap synth sound like apology. He saves. The session hangs. The cursor spins. He says, "Do not do this to me." The screen whites out. A red bar across the top. Corrupted file. Weeks gone in a click. The fan roars. The room tilts. He swallows and whispers, "Give me a sign." The sign arrives without spectacle. A voice behind him, close enough to fog the idea of breath, speaking in his cadence. "I know what you are trying to remember. It is not gone. You are." The voice steps into the room by being heard. "I am hungry. I feed on what you still have. Warmth, empathy, joy. The current that makes rhythm mean more than math. Trade with me. One song, perfect architecture, never misses. Doors open, crowds chant your name before the first bar. In return, I take the engine of connection. You will read love as numbers. You will not feel it." He sees the rooms he played last winter. Faces lit by strips of LED. Strangers hugging at his second drop. The word "us" caught in his throat. His phone vibrates. Final notice from the landlord. Another cancelled collab. The apartment shrinks to the size of his screen. He almost refuses. Almost. "I do not care about your art," the voice adds, precise and unthreatening. "I care about fuel. You will keep your craft. You will work better. That is what you asked for." He laughs once. Chair creak. Not humor. "Okay," he says, quiet. "Okay." A sting on his fingertip, as if the air had teeth. A single drop of blood tidily dots the trackpad. The laptop wakes. A new session opens on its own. Project notes type themselves. Deliver feeling. Receive form. Aron's shoulders drop. "You will not feel better," the voice says. "You will work better." He nods. On the screen, empty channels propagate. Drums, bass, pad, lead, vox, FX. The tempo locks at 126. The grid tightens. The metronome clicks without being told. The cursor moves with the neat intent of a spider. He reaches for the mouse and realizes he does not need it. The kick appears exactly where his pulse used to be. The bass hums like a memory through a door. The room cools. The fan evens out. He waits for the thrill. It does not arrive. "This is the last night you will wait for it," the voice notes. "After this, you will not miss it." He should stop. He leans in. The first stem renders in a kind of holy silence. Listen to the way the session breathes. Drums line up in orderly rows. A kick with weight, a snare that pinches, hi-hats like sewing needles through cloth. The bass does not appear so much as unfurl, the living thread humming between floorboards. When Aron reaches to curve an EQ, the curve moves first, scooping a pocket, opening air. Pads arrive like tide behind glass. He does not design the sound, he recognizes it. The thing he failed to remember now remembers him. The voice offers small instructions, almost polite. Move the clap forward 2 ticks. He wants it back 1. He resists. The DAW ignores him. The clap lands where ordered, and the pocket suddenly swings. A melody forms in the gaps, like an old voicemail leaking through the mix. 4 notes, then 6, then a fragile turn that tilts the room. He knows the shape from a 19-year-old night outside a club he never entered. Freeze the reverb tail. Cut it at bar 9, the voice suggests. He hates the idea until he hears it. The tail glassing mid-flight, shattering under the drop. His chest waits for joy. Nothing. A smooth, humming emptiness. Arrangement view populates itself. 16-bar intro. Tease at 24. Pre-drop at 32. He rides automation. Automation rides him. Filter opening with surgical patience. White noise whispering like rain on neon. He can see the future gasp and measures it instead of feeling it. The session requests a title. The title types itself. Never miss. He prints a premaster. Limiter kisses 0. True peak holds. The laptop hums a steady prayer. He drags the file into the uploader. His hand shakes out of habit, not fear. There is nothing to shake loose. Post now, the voice says. Private to public. Tag the cities that will book you. Click. Gray wheel spins. Done. Watch numbers sprint. Plays blink, then surge. Comments stack like dominoes. I have been waiting for this all my life. I cried on the bus. A curator quietly adds it to a 1,000,000-follower playlist. Another pushes it to fresh finds. An email arrives without knocking. Management talk. He reads each line the way a surgeon reads vitals, precisely without pulse. Mouth still. Inside, no fireworks. A local station calls for an interview. The voice drafts his answers. He reads them and sounds like a person. He hangs up and checks his heart out of curiosity. Present, mute. First show with the new track. A basement that feels like a lung. Ceiling pipes sweat. People packed tight. Phones up. Their bodies move before he presses play. He opens with 2 older tracks. The crowd nods. Then he primes Never Miss. Freeze. Drop. The room folding and unfolding as if breathing with a larger chest. They shout a hook he never sang. He compresses a crowd as if it were a bus mix. They glow. He calibrates. In the green room, a woman in a denim jacket tells him the song kept her from doing something irreversible. He logs the sentence, nods at the right tempo. She leaves, lighter. He remains the same weight. Back home, the inbox becomes floodgate. Labels, agents, a festival moving him from side stage to sunset. He accepts with crisp efficiency. Each yes tips the voice's hunger meter, and he understands the math. Feed it. Work. Sleep 2 hours. Repeat. He opens a blank session to test what remains without permission. A kick lands like a coin on tile. He waits for the pry bar inside his chest to move him. Nothing. He asks. The voice supplies. A fresh hook steps into the room. He assembles it deftly, almost beautifully, like a craftsman who has lost the habit of pride. Consequences shuttle in the periphery. A text from his bandmate, "We need to talk," goes unanswered. A message from his ex, "Be careful," is archived. He checks stats. The curve goes up. He pays the landlord on time for the first time in months. He notes this, but does not smile. So this is what new success feels like. A corridor of opening doors, walked through like airport security. Belt off, shoes off, heart off. He posts a clip of the drop. It loops and multiplies. In the comments, a stranger writes, "I felt this in my bones." Aron reads it twice. He knows what bones are for. He does not feel this in his. He adds a like in the comment anyway, and deletes a draft reply that said, "I am glad." The delete feels more honest than the reply.
Everyone's singing my name, but no one's seeing me. I made a song that never missed, and somewhere I missed me. rhythm loves what I became, not who I used to be. I made a song that never missed, and somewhere I missed me.
The calendar tightens like a drumhead. Cities stack. Berlin, Lisbon, Tbilisi, Seoul. The machine wants more. Momentum bleeds if he slows. The voice is punctual. Hooks arrive on cue. Choruses assemble like scaffolding. Each track hits. Each city sells out. He moves through airports with a backpack and a face that has learned where to place warmth during photos. Backstage in Berlin, a promoter recites deliverables. He nods at the correct beats. The voice feeds him gracious lines. He memorizes the rhythm of sincerity. The meter inside, what used to be empathy, shows a flat line. The entity eats the silence where warmth once lived and purrs. Relationships fold with neat corners. His bandmate texts a final message. You are not here anymore. He regards the sentence as if it were behind glass. His ex blocks him. The icon changes color. He logs the event and boards a plane. Festival at sunset. Main stage, breathing like an animal. 40,000 hold their breath before the drop. He stands at the apex, hands poised, eyes scanning like radar. The crowd roars the hook before he plays it. Wind hits the mic. Confetti cannons crouch like loaded lungs. Freeze at bar 9, and the drop. The earth answers. He calculates gain staging by throats. He laughs into the mic on cue. The laugh lands. Inside, nothing. When the door closes behind him after the set, his phone vibrates. Mom. He answers in a hallway lit by exit signs. Her voice fractures with pride. He schedules a callback in his head. The callback slides off the calendar like a coaster. 2 days later, new city. He sends a heart emoji to a thread that did not ask for one. It looks like punctuation. Brand deals arrive on thick letterhead. Sneakers, energy drinks, a streamer offering him a station called Infinite Pulse. The metric curves upward whenever adoration spikes. The voice's hunger dips and climbs again, steeper. He becomes an algorithm wearing Aron's jacket. He hears fans as frequencies. He turns rooms like other people turn filters. On the train to Milan, he attempts a blank session without asking. A clap, another. The voice slides in the moment intent appears. 2 ticks forward, sidechain the breath. He obeys. It feels like washing hands, necessary, numb. The track flowers in minutes. He names it hands off. Hotel rooms blur, sleep phrase, a ring threads the darkness, a pure sine wave living just beyond hearing. The entity grows impatient. It wants more current than he can produce. Hurry, it says from the walls. Give me something real. He has nothing real left. Backstage in Athens, a journalist asks about his creative process. He mentions field recordings, community, shared feelings. He hears himself lie with professional grace, and is faintly impressed by the contour of the falsehood. Later, a fan knots a bracelet from festival wristbands and slides it onto his wrist. His skin reads it as weight, not meaning. He learns to predict the millisecond a crowd will erupt, learning the inhale for the scream and delaying it by 1 beat, so the exhale detonates harder. He cannot hear his own heartbeat without placing a hand to his ribs and counting. He counts. He is regular, he tells himself, just not present. A billboard goes up in a city he used to dream about. His face, eyes edited to glow. He stands across the street as strangers photograph the corner. He is in one frame by accident, a ghost next to his own poster. He cannot tell if he is happy. He can tell the impression share will spike at rush hour. A collaborator quits mid-tour. I do not know who I am talking to anymore. Aron replies, I am here, into the space where someone else once stood. The collaborator shakes his head with a grief he does not mirror, and leaves. He updates the set list. The crowd never notices the missing layer. Neither does he. After a ferocious night in Mexico City, the voice purrs. They love you. Feed me. Take it, he thinks, and feels the needle move a hair. More, it answers. I do not have more. The monitors hum like teeth. The venue tilts. Diminishing returns arrive like physics. He understands the curve and pretends not to see its endpoint. In a quiet car between cities, his mother calls again. He stares at her name for 3 stops, answers at the 4th. She tells a small story about rain and the grocery store. That sounds nice, he says with a constructed smile. She pauses. Are you okay, baby? I am good. The pause lengthens. I miss the way you laughed. The train enters a tunnel. The call drops. He forgets to redial. Another venue, another sea of phones, another perfect freeze at bar 9. He moves like blueprint. He triggers cheers the way others trigger lights. He sits on the edge of the bed, hands open on his knees, and waits for a feeling to walk in. Nothing visits. The entity paces, hungry and impatient, and he cannot cook. He wants one true feeling. The block is no longer mood but structure inside him. He opens a blank session. Kick, snare, hat. Obedient, soulless. Old projects sound like strangers repeating lines. He whispers, help me. Nothing. The entity circles, low and cold. A live broadcast approaches. Prime slot. He tells himself muscle memory will carry it. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. He smiles on cue. The first drop perfect. Chat explodes in cymbals. Between songs, his mouth opens. No words. A moderator fills the gap with a joke. He ends on never miss, staring past the lens until someone cuts the feed. The ring in the silence rises higher. 2 nights later, a private showcase. Industry crowd, champagne sweat. He's asked to improvise. He tries. The entity guides his hands. Everything is precise, cold, correct. A woman near the back frowns like she smells smoke. Someone records a clip, robot on stage. It slides through feeds. Where did he go? He was never there. Engagement curves soften. He opens Never Miss to fix it. The stems stare back. Immaculate, merciless. He deletes hi-hats, reprints them. Still perfect, still dead. He writes 2 columns on paper. Break the contract, risk ruin, maybe feel again. Keep working, stay full of nothing. He stands dizzy, calls his mother. Voicemail. A cab ride, rain on glass. Home, he tells the driver. The stairwell smells of dust and dinners long gone. The studio greets him with stale air and the same curling notes. He unplugs everything but the old laptop. He sits. I am done. The entity waits, voiceless but present. He opens a blank session and listens to the silence. He wants his empathy back. The entity blocks the doorway like weather. He opens Never Miss. Kick, delete. The room dips. Bass, delete. The floor stops humming. That was careless, the voice hisses. Keep the crowd, keep the tours. He ignores it. Pads, mute. Light drains from the walls. Only the lead remains, those 4 notes, naked and merciless. He drags the master fader toward trash. The cursor resists. Compromise, the voice pleads. Keep the rooms that adore you. Keep the money. I will keep the current. You will not suffer. He whispers to no one. I do not need safe. Click. Confirm. The monitors roar. Harmonics, teeth, static, and cut to black. He records one trembling synth line from a broken keyboard. It wavers. The tremble becomes vibrato. The entity screams again, a sine wave slicing upward until the speakers crackle. He reaches under the desk, pulls the cable. Darkness. Dawn arrives like a soft reboot. He sits very still. His heartbeat is felt, not measured. Tears come, small and real. He lets them happen without quantizing them. Notifications stop. Feeds slow. The silence is not empty. It breathes. Tour dates vanish from calendars like evaporating water. Sponsors withdraw politely. Payments cease. Aron sits at a kitchen table, the only surface not demanding performance. The old laptop warms the wood. A chipped mug holds cold tea that tastes like relief. An email lands. Subject: thank you. It is from the woman in the denim jacket. She writes that never miss carried her through a night she did not think she would survive, and when she saw the clip of him looking lost, she hoped he was okay. He reads it twice. He replies, "Thank you for telling me." He opens a blank session. 8 bars wait. Crooked, human. He adds a soft kick that lands late, a breath left untrimmed. The sound is small but truthful. A message from his mother arrives. An audio story about a neighbor's new dog, the sky turning violet over the river. He presses play, he listens, smiles without planning it. He answers with a voice note, "I am here." She laughs. The laugh stays. Through an open window, clatter of bins. A child upstairs practicing piano with 2 stubborn fingers. He listens, not for samples, but for life. He saves the project as Kitchen 1. No post, no pitch, just a file waiting for tomorrow. He sits at the kitchen table as the old laptop hums, and for the first time in months, he breathes. And it is here we leave him, broke, forgotten, surrounded by dust and silence, the world still turning somewhere far away, yet breathing, small and human again, fragilely alive.
We move, we glow, the city bends. No sleep, no start, no ends. We never miss, we never fall. One heartbeat